Hello students, this is your Bhushan sir. In continuation of the non-conventional energy resources that we were discussing in previous classes, we are going to understand the next type of non-conventional energy resource, that is hydrogen as the fuel of future. When we look at the universe, it is a mixture of a very vast components which includes majorly nitrogen, oxygen, and even hydrogen. Hydrogen is one of the major component that helps in the sustainability of life. Hydrogen is having the highest energy content of any common fuel by weight and has the lowest energy content by volume. It is the highest by weight and lowest by the volume. It is the lightest element, which is a gas at normal room temperature and pressure. Though the sun has greater percentage of this hydrogen gas, the gas is too light and that disappears from the surface of the earth. Mean to say, when the atmosphere of the earth gets heated up by the sunlight, the hydrogen gas starts escaping upwards. So thereby, the hydrogen easily becomes miscible with most of the other elements. Hydrogen can be harnessed from the natural gas, biomass, and even from the water. Hydrogen is considered as a very clean energy carrier, which is similar to that of the electricity. You know that the electron flow is exactly referred as the electricity, which can be achieved through the hydrogen also. It reduces the dependence on the foreign oil, that is the crude oil, and also reduces the emission of greenhouse gases and other pollutants. When we look at the hydrogen, it does not exist on the earth as gas. As I told you earlier, when the sunlight falls into the atmosphere, this hydrogen gas starts moving upward and mixes with the other components. There are two methods used for the production of hydrogen. One is the electrolysis of the hydrogen from the water, that is water splitting. The second one is the steam reforming. First we will understand the steam reforming. It is currently a very least expensive method for the production of hydrogen. But building the plants for the process of steam reforming is very expensive. It is used to separate hydrogen atoms from the carbon atoms in the methane, methanol, etc. Unfortunately, because methane is a fossil fuel, the process of steam reforming results in the greenhouse gases and their emissions, which is linked to the global warming. The hydrogen produced via steam methane reforming involves a high temperature of steam, that's around 700 to 1000 degrees centigrades, is used to produce the hydrogen from methane source. In steam methane reforming, methane reacts with the steam of that high temperature under 3 to 25 bar pressures in presence of the catalyst to produce the hydrogen, carbon monoxide, and relatively small amount of carbon dioxide too. The steam reforming is endothermic process which absorbs the heat. So heat must be supplied to the process for the production of hydrogen here. Here is a slide that depicts the process of steam reforming, where hydrogen gas is liberated from the carbon related methanol or methane with the high pressure of the steam to release the hydrogen. That hydrogen is collected and utilized for the fuel. The other method of hydrogen production is electrolysis. Electrolysis involves passing an electric current through the water to separate the water into the basic elements such as hydrogen and oxygen. We know that H2O is water, which can be separated by the electrolysis process. The hydrogen is then collected at negatively charged cathode and oxygen at positively charged anode, and hydrogen produced by electrolysis is extremely pure, and this results with no emission of greenhouse gases or any other pollutants. Here is a picture above which indicates the process of electrolysis of water to form or to release or to produce hydrogen. Coming on to the uses of hydrogen. Hydrogen is mainly used as a fuel because this is the heading on which we are discussing the topic, which is already in a practice of usage as fuel by NASA space program. The liquid hydrogen is also used to propel the space shuttles and other rockets. Hydrogen fuel cells is also used to produce the pure water for shuttle crew. I mean to say, the people who go into the space will require the water. So purest form of the water is obtained from this particular technology of usage of hydrogen fuel cell. The other uses includes the agricultural field that creates the fertilizers, then cyclohexane and methanol production in pharmaceuticals, as what you see down here in the slide, how hydrogen reacts with the other compounds to form different useful products. It is also used to produce the plastics and even oil refining processes. Hydrogen fuel cell directly converts the chemical energy into electricity from the hydrogen, with pure water and heat as the only byproducts. Here is a condition wherein hydrogen and oxygen are combined in a closed system of fuel cell, where the chemical energy is converted into electrical energy and that electrical energy is restored and utilized for various purposes. Fuel cells can power many portable devices such as batteries, transportation of vehicles, trucks, buses, marine vessels, and marine machineries. Hydrogen can also play a particular role in replacing the imported petroleum, which is currently used in cars and trucks. The future of hydrogen energy infrastructure. The hydrogen is compressed up to the pipeline pressure, and then they are transmitted through the pipeline to the gas terminals, where the hydrogen is loaded, compressed in gas tube trailers, and it is delivered to the forecourt stations, and these stations will deliver further the hydrogen fuel to the vehicles. So it is something similar to that of the petroleum and diesel banks, what we have the similar way. So here's a picture which depicts how exactly hydrogen is delivered from its site to the vehicles through the stations. The future of hydrogen. In the future, hydrogen will join electricity production because it's an energy carrier. As we discussed in the introduction, hydrogen has got electron whose movement can bring in, whose movement of hydrogen ions will bring in movement of the electrons as such that will form the electricity. It is a safe, renewable energy resource, non-polluting, producing zero emissions of greenhouse gases, and it heats up the homes, offices. Then it is used to produce the electricity. It is used as fuel in aircrafts and other spacecrafts. Hydrogen has got greater potential to reduce the dependence on the imported energy resources such as crude oil. It is also used in the treatment of many ailments, that is human disorders, as what we see in the slide here. The advantages of hydrogen fuel is that, number one, energy security. Hydrogen can be produced domestically from most common resources such as natural gas, coal, solar energy, wind, biomass, etc. It is used to produce very efficient fuel cell electric vehicles, and hydrogen holds promise of helping conserve the petroleum. The next advantage of hydrogen fuel is the public health and environment impact. Most population lives in the areas where air pollution levels are very high. Thereby, the public will have the sufferings caused by the pollutant environment, especially related to the health. Emissions from gasoline, diesel vehicles, such as nitrogen oxides, hydrocarbons, and even the particulate matter, are the major pollutants which will disturb the health of the people, of the surrounding. So here is a condition wherein hydrogen powered fuel cell will emit no harmful gases and substances, and it is very convenient for the human life also. The other advantage is that it is a very good fuel storage. Hydrogen energy content by volume is low. Mean to say, the quantity in the given space of hydrogen what you can store is more because it's a gas, and the storage capacity of hydrogen is so light, and it is more than 300 miles to meet the consumer needs. Mean to say, the quantity of hydrogen that can be filled once in the fuel cell is so much that around 300 miles of distance a person can travel at a stretch. The disadvantages of hydrogen fuel is that the production cost. Hydrogen energy production is very expensive. The next disadvantage is that storage complications. When we convert the gaseous form of hydrogen and into liquid form at lower temperature, the efficiency of this resource of energy is very difficult because it has the power of readily miscibility, or readily it reacts with other compounds. So it's very difficult to store as hydrogen purest form. The next disadvantage is that it is dependent on fossil fuel to get activated. Hydrogen is a renewable resource, no doubt, but the separation of it requires the presence of coal, crude oil, natural gas, etc. So there is direct and indirect dependency on the fossil fuel also. So this is about the disadvantages related to hydrogen as the future fuel. Students, we have understood in previous class that energy resources are nothing but the resources which will embed energy in it. Energy is the capacity to do the work, and the term energy is derived from the Greek term energon, which means it has power within to do work. We know that this energy is the backbone of most sectors of any country, which includes the activities of industries, agriculture, transportation, household purposes, etc. The total power of this energy resources are available in nature, which we call it as natural energy resources. So we also have learnt that the matter that stores energy in it is called fuel or energy resource. It should be easily available, it should be easily storable, easily transportable, able to perform large amount of work, and it should be economical also. This includes resources like air, water, land, soil, forest, etc. Coming on to the classification of resources of energy, the natural energy resources can be broadly classified into two types, and this is based on their replenishing ability. They are renewable resources and non-renewable resources. First, we will understand renewable resources. These are the resources of energy which is renewed naturally over time. It includes air, water, wind, solar energy, etc. And these renewable energy resources are renewed by the nature itself. They are easily maintainable and they are unlimited, replaceable, directly available, immediately accessible, and inexhaustible. These energy resources are generally called as non-conventional energy resources. As we have understood, these energy resources are new forms of energy resources which is utilized by man through the scientific technologies at present days. Non-renewable resources of energy are those natural resources which are available in limited quantity. They cannot be renewed or replenished in short duration. Therefore, they are also known as exhaustible energy resources. Example, coal, natural gas, petroleum, etc. They are very difficult to maintain, they are limited, they are non-replaceable, not easily available, they are difficult to have the access, and they are exhaustible. Most of these energy resources are called conventional energy resources because they are utilized by man since ages. So here is a depiction of the energy resources of both the types of renewable and non-renewable. Students, with this we are completing the concept of definition of energy, differences between renewable and non-renewable energy resources, and even one type of non-conventional energy resource, that is hydrogen as the future fuel. All the concepts are important for short notes and very important also for the main exams. If you have any doubts, please post them. Write your comments and critiques to my WhatsApp number. I wish you all a very good day ahead. Thank you.